obviously still do it. Pero you will always be behind the curve in terms of productivity. On the other hand, I think tataas ang value ng mga, let's say, artwork that is purely human-made.
Oh, yeah.
Kasi it's very rare na.
That's true.
Just like
Correct.
like authentic paintings, mahal na ngayon.
Even
Hindi
now
katulad dati.
even now, even sa bags and even shoes, if it's handmade, ito talaga parang,
craftsmen
basta even it's pag handmade talaga, it's really
Mahal
much
talaga.
pricey, no? Talagang, so, which is maganda. Which is, I think it adds value, no? Tun sa mga talagang hard-earned
Napapaisip,
labor.
napapaisip tuloy ako, Martina, tsaka Doc, no, na umpisahan ko na yung mga painting ko.
If you're into painting, you should pursue it, no?
Yeah.
On the other hand,
Umpisahan
yung mga
ko.
commercial artists ang medyo kailangan may mag-decide Kasi they're the ones who sell their artwork actively.
Yeah.
I mean, little things like if you're a logo maker,
Yeah, yung mga graphic artists.
you know, you can instantly generate logos. I mean, I'm not saying the AI generated logos are better or worse, pero may kalabang ka na. Now, on the other hand, marami na rin akong nakikilala are making the shift. They used to be purely no AI. Ngayon, they're incorporating AI into their process. So, hindi naman siya 100% wala. So, anyway, art is one. Education is another. I think malaking bagay din ngayon na AI is invading the classroom. Obviously, issue yan sa mga teachers kasi mga students can write their essays using ChatGPT.
Correct.
Pero hindi mo naman mababan So I feel ngayon, kailangan mag-adjust na rin yung mga eskwelahan natin, no? In the meantime, may issue tayo sa education, obviously, right?
Yes.
Yung mga scores natin are worse. Pero despite that, kailangan malaman natin paano ba may improve ng AI ang education kaysa sa linalabanan mo. Kasi babalik yan dun sa critical thinking natin. Kaya naman naging issue din itong nangyari sa deepfake na to. Kasi marami ring mga tao, wala ring comprehension pag nakikita nila.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know kung nakita nyo, may isang, konsehal ba yun, na nagpagawa ng prayer sa ChatGPT. Binasa niya yung prayer, including dun sa yung comment ng ChatGPT na, feel free to modify this prayer as you see fit. So sabi ko, yan yung nangyayari pag may AI ka pero wala kang comprehension. Kasi binasa mo pati yung comments, no?
Naalala ko tuloy yung college pa ako, pinag-research kami. Yung classmate ko, nag-copy-paste sa Google. Nandun pa yung mga
Yung Google comments sinabi. Diba? Yung parang ganun.
nahuli tuloy.
Gagamit ka na lang. Medyo, there's no excuse.
I-polish mo na.
Diba? Pero that's the reality. Laziness nga ang kalaban.
Yeah, laziness, yeah.
So, yun yung challenge.
Actually, pag ako, speaking of critical thinking, I hope maisip ng Sani Angara, hopefully, pakisama po sa curriculum ng estudyante from elementary hanggang college ang critical thinking sa curriculum. It's very important. Kasi I think, kasi iba yung I mean, it's good na meron tayong mga basic subjects like reading, science, maths, and yung reading kasama dyan ng comprehension. But let's add critical thinking instead of wasting the parents' money on certain minor subjects that
Correct.
they're not gonna take in the future. Let's be real. Music,
Correct.
arts. Let's have that on a lower grade, pero wag na natin siya isama after grade 3.
For me, the pedagogy, that's the word, diba, has to change.
Yeah.
Kasi nga, sanay tayo memorization,
Yes.
repeating what you see in the book. Pero kung ang challenge is, questionin mo yung book. How often did you actually do that back in school? Even I don't remember. Diba?
Yep.
Kasi that means, A, alam mo yung nasa libro, and B, alam mo enough to challenge it. You might even make a mistake. Yun pa yung isang naalala ko sa school dati, bawal magkamali. Pero if you want to be critical, you have to be ready to be wrong. Diba? Yung
Correct.
challenging, debating. So yung mga debate team sanay doon. Pero ilan lang ba yung lulusot sa debate team once upon a time? Lalo na ngayon, everything's digital, napakadaling mag-copy and paste, PowerPoints. Medyo mahirap nga yung critical thinking na yan.
So, ito dahil nga ganito, no, kumalat na to in public. Let's have this before our next break. What advice, or at least what can you tell our audiences and our listeners, no, Doc? Paano ba nila, kahit paano nila madedetect, lalo na doon sa mga seniors natin, at saka yung mga kabataan pa, paano nyo madedetect kung talagang totoo ba talaga tong video na to or hindi. Especially na kumalat tong ganito.
Well, yun na nga. Unfortunately, I'm always the first to say detecting it is almost impossible, unless obviously may mali sa pagkagawa. So I would first point the listener or the viewer dun sa mensahe. Okay? And may mga usual suspects din. Anything political, pause. Tama ba tong nakikita ko?
Correct.
Anything na may reputation involved, attacking or even defending online, kasi these are things that are not normally aired. Diba, somebody will attack you. Pause, no?
Correct.
And then dun sa may commercial side naman, marami kasing pinagagamitan ng mga fake video, mga mga scams.
Yeah.
True.
Hina-hard sell ka. And usually yung scam, either money-making opportunity or health. O may bago ng gamot sa blank. Siyempre, kung meron kang karamdaman na hindi to in-approve ng BFAD pero gumagana to, yung parang you desperately want to believe it kasi nga kailangan mo ng shortcut.
Correct.
Pause. Unfortunately nga, it's so emotionally difficult. Kasi in a way, hinahanap ng brain mo yun eh. Diba? Lalo na kung politics. Pero kung dun pa lang, kaya nating i-disiplina ang sarili natin. Anything political, anything reputational, anything hard selling, hindi mo agad papatulan. Kahit
True.
papano, medyo mami-minimize mo yung damage. And then the rest, if you must, kilatisin mo yung video,
Correct.
here's an important tip. Try to screenshot and download it. Kasi normally, pag nare-report yan, tinitake down.
Yeah.
So, kung may reklamo ka at gusto mong ihabla yung isang tao, wala ka ng evidence.
Yeah.
So, it might take a bit more effort, pero screenshot it, or if you can, record it, or download it kung kaya nyong i-download. Kasi later, magagamit yan for evidence. No?
Correct.
Correct.
And then, isa pang, actually, clamor ko to in the journalist sector Hindi kasi sanay ang mga tao sa mga deepfake kasi madali nga na-take down. Pwede ba tayong gumawa ng parang deepfake zoo? No? Parang everyone just dumps mga videos there na proven to be fake para pwede natin pag-aralan. Kasi sabi mo nga, if you see it often enough, you develop an instinct na mukhang peke to. Kasi marami
Correct.
na akong nakitang ganito. Unfortunately, wala pa tayong ganong parang facility right now.
Right,
Parang deepfake gallery as I call it. Baka pwede natin pagtulungan yon, gawa tayo ng parang kahit lang mga upload lang into a Google Drive and then eventually pwede nating i-publish. I think that will go a long way lalo nang malayo pa yung next election.
Yeah.
Paghandaan na natin as
correct.
early as now.
Correct.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And by the way, with regard to sa sinabi ni Doc, tandaan nyo, you can delete a post, but screenshots are forever.
Forever. The internet remembers.
All right.
Forever.
So, anyway, marami pa tayong pag-uusapan. We're just going to take another break dito sa Vloggers ng Bagong Pilipinas.
Nilagdaan na at ipinaliwanag ni Pangulong Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. ang Implementing Rules and Regulations ng Expanded Tertiary Education Equivalency and Accreditation Program o ETIAP Act.
With the signing of the IRR of the Expanded Tertiary Education Equivalency and Accreditation Program or ETIAP Act, we reaffirm a crucial principle. Experience is just as valuable as a formal education. Sa ilalim ng ETIAP Act, maaari po nilang gamitin ang kanilang mga karanasan upang makamit ang kanilang diploma. This law gives our fellows who were not able to finish college a second chance.
Binigyan din ng Pangulo na naniniwala siyang kaya ng mga Pilipino na maging matagumpay anuman ang kanilang kalagayan sa buhay.
Huwag kayong umintong mangarap. Ang tunay na sukatan ng dunong ay ang kakayahan ninyong harapin ang mga pagsubok upang matupad ang inyong mga pangarap. Naniniwala po akong patunay kayo na walang limitasyon ang kayang abutin ng bawat Pilipino.
Para sa iba pang mga balita at impormasyon, manatiling nakatuto. Tapat sa pag-uulat. Radyo Pilipinas. Radyo Publiko 738. Radyo Pilipinas is on Viber. Viber. One tap and swipe. Nandyan na lahat. Receive credible news and information. Pati mga trending topics at videos. Sure na meron dito niyan. Stay on track with Radyo Pilipinas on Viber. Pick up real news. Catch the latest and biggest stories. Search Radyo Pilipinas on Viber and hop in to our community. Vloggers ng Bagong Pilipinas. Vloggers ng Bagong Pilipinas.
And we're back dito sa Vloggers ng Bagong Pilipinas. Admin Bitch, may tanong ka ba kay Doc Ligot kung ano pang natin dito sa mga nagaganap na talamak ng mga AI fake videos?
Tanong ko lang kay Doc, no? Ano po ang inyong masasuggest sa ating gobyerno para at least kahit hindi siya talagang tuluyang mawala, ay at least ma-minimize naman yung pagpapakalat ng deepfake videos na yung nakaka-harm sa mga tao. Okay lang naman yung deepfake pero kapag yung ginamit na sa kasamaan, yun po, paano po kaya ang inyong masasuggest para hindi naman napakaraming nabibiktima?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest gaps ngayon is wala talaga tayong batas pagdating sa AI or deepfakes even. Even if yung kunyari pinaggamitan ng deepfake, let's say someone impersonated you, technically parang identity theft yun eh. And that's a cybercrime, no?
Right.
Pero in the Cybercrime Act or Cybercrime Prevention Act, walang word na deepfake, walang word na AI. So it certainly demands an update, whether dun sa batas na yon or like another law or some statute. Yung Data Privacy Act, in theory, could cover your facial data na pwedeng ginamit for faking. Wala rin and I think it was intentional eh. 2012 pa kasi yung mga batas na yan, no?
Yeah,
It was
hindi na siya updated.
Oh, matagal na. And I think that desperately needs to be updated because kunyari na-scam ka because of this and you go to, PNP. You tell them, "Oy, na-deepfake ako." Wala silang necessarily parang procedure to deal with that because it's not really classified as anything. No? Now, that on the other hand, kailangan din natin ingatan kasi kunyari naghigpit talaga on the use of AI and deepfakes, then you already impede on freedom of expression. And,
Ang dami niyang sasagasaan.
so medyo there's a fine act. Pero for me, it's a bigger risk ngayon na wala tayong way of complaining. 'Di ba? Even if it's used. In fact, sa abroad there was a famous case, no? You can Google this. Merong CEO na in-impersonate using a deepfake at naka-withdraw sila ng millions of dollars from a bank.
Oh my God.
For me, ang unang reaction ko doon, ba't medyo uto-uto yung bangko na to? Kasi I think it was on the basis of a phone call, no? But anyway, whatever. Long story short, it was actually used to perpetrate theft from a company. So that means, yan talagang habol ng mga cyber criminals to use this technology. Now, I say cyber criminals, pero because technically it is a cyber crime, no? But how many cyber security professionals are actually trained in deepfakes?
Yeah.
Probably say zero. Or maybe they do it on the side. Kasi hindi yan kasama sa normal cyber training. So I think yan yung medyo gray area right now na kailangan talaga nating i-address to also permit responsible use. Hindi naman bawal lahat eh. Pero dapat alam ng mga tao na ito medyo sketchy, pero you can use deepfakes for creative purposes, no? May mga kilala nga ako, gagawa na raw sila ng first AI-generated short film. O yan, okay yan.
That's nice,
Oo,
yeah.
kasi makamenos ka.
Follow up ko lang, no? Ito kaya yung dahilan kung bakit yung sinampa ng NBI doon sa gumawa ng deepfake video kay PBBM ay parang wala tayong naririnig.
Well, I'm not privy to what was filed.
Dahil
no?
ba sa wala tayong batas?
It's possible na kulang yung batas natin to prosecute, no? And I think there is actually an older law, I keep referring to it, Revised Penal Code 143 yata or something like that, which punishes anyone who creates news that can harm the state. So baka yun yung ginamit, no? You went after kasi and then of course there's the sedition law, no? Anti-sedition law. Pero malayo na yun. Dito we're just talking about the impeachment or whatever. Hindi siya punishable under those laws. And then, of course, it doesn't cover personal attacks to you. There's, of course, libel and slander. Pero hindi necessarily connected to AI yon. No?
Correct.
So, I don't want to give license to anyone who wants to use AI to attack. Kasi nga, kesa okrayin mo yung kapitbahay mo, gawa ka na lang ng AI to do it, don't do that. Pero yun na nga, makakalusot yun kung gagawin mo.
So, yung mga tagagawa po ng batas natin, pwede pakigalaw po yung baso. Huwag po tayong puro post lang. Kasi may isa post lang ng post. Magtrabaho po kayo, hindi po tayo globetrotters at nagta-travel lang, ha? Pagalawin ng baso, marami tayong batas na kailangan i-update. But anyway, so simula nung huli tayo nagkita, no, Doc, nung huli ka nag-guest dito, ang tanong ko, anong pinagkakaabalahan mo lately with regard to your advocacies and may new projects ka ba regarding cyber security, AI?
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about it? Kung anong mga pinagkakaabalahan mo lately?
Well, probably the big three. Number one is education. So I'm working with a number of institutions to promote AI literacy. No, actually, if you're part of an education institution or you want to collaborate, I'm more than happy. You just hit me up on docligot.com. That's my website. We do mga courses on prompting. We do courses on AI literacy, and I'm about to partner with a number of people on the creative uses of AI naman. Kasi actually masaya siyang gamitin. Na huwag ka lang gagawa ng kasamaan. Pero yeah, you can create mga movies, you can create clips, images. It's really fun to do. And even ikaw, wala kang... Kasi dati, kailangan mo ng production house, ng studio. Ngayon, wala. Laptop is enough.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? Yun yung opportunity sa AI. So, that's one big chunk. On a, kumbaga, smaller percentage of my time, yan, yung issue ng mga batas, I'm actively lobbying for AI policies.
Yes.
And ang mga help na kailangan natin dyan, well, obviously, if you're in the Congress and the Senate, I wouldn't mind having time to talk to you. Pero even mga NGOs or mga advocates, and this covers everything from education to labor, sa mga artists, yung protection of intellectual property. Isa pang batas yan na medyo begging for an update yung intellectual property code. Kasi technically, hindi naman covered ng IP code ang AI. No? And there are technicalities to it. Labor code din. I mean, paghandaan na natin na yung nagbabantang mga job losses, although technically wala pa naman akong nakikita so far na talamak na nawawalan ng trabaho. Pero on little parang fronts, kunyari, yung mga copywriters, mga artists, nararamdaman na nila. And what kind of protections can you get? No? So education, policy, and I'm also looking for collaborators to reach lalo na yung mga provinces. Kasi ang mga usapang AI parang palagi na lang nasa NCR lang. I certainly we need to bring this conversation
mga big
everywhere.
cities,
Yeah. In fact, I was just in Cebu and in Calabarzon recently. And then last year, marami akong pinuntahan din. A couple of years back, I used to do work in Mindanao, in Cotabato, in Davao. Pero yun na nga medyo talagang kailangan ng konting effort and networking to do that.
So, very, very busy ka pala. Busy. Pero Doc, ano ka ba rin? Do you accept invitation, for example, let's say schools, to talk about, like for example, this particular school has a program for students with regard to AI and computer literacy and all. Do you take invitations na mag-guest ka kunyari to speak for the class or for the rest of the school?
Actually, just the other day, Friday, I was in Mapua sa Intramuros and I gave a talk about yun na nga. Parang ang message ko doon, yung curriculum ng university and Mapua is one of the most advanced na sa pagdating sa technology. Medyo nahuhuli pa rin pagdating sa AI. Kaya kasi kunyari gusto mo mag-aral ng AI, hindi ka pupunta sa school. Manonood ka ng YouTube. That's where you learn it. And that's fine kasi wala namang cost ng YouTube. Pero 'di ba sayang?
Yeah.
No? Sana tinuturo na siya. And unfortunately, yung mga marunong yan, hindi yan yung mga professors.
Correct.
These are people in the industry.
No, kasi I wanna suggest it to my daughter's school Kasi yung school ng daughter ko, they're like super advanced. Like especially with yung anak ko is like on junior high, first year in junior high, and she will have biology, physics, and chemistry.
Wow, science, STEM, STEM
Yeah.
track.
And this is per quarter lang. So imagine yung advanced ng school niya. And they even have creative writing and research at grade 5 and grade 6. So I'm wondering if they have that kind of and maybe I can, talk to Doc Ligot and maybe he can be a guest sa school ng anak ko.
The answer is yes, we can do that. Tsaka isa pang messaging ko na I should do more. Siyempre, emphasis natin is more science and technology. Pero wag natin kakalimutan yung humanities, yung arts, 'di ba? Creative fields. Kasi talagang napag-iiwanan din yung mga mga fields na 'yon. Kasi nga ang goal ng mga magulang paaralin ko yung anak ko para magkatrabaho agad or para makapag-abroad.
Correct.
Yeah, those
So,
were my 90s parents.
Diba?
Ganun sila, yeah.
Or
90s
kailangan may
parents.
lisensya ka, no? Or kailangan mag-nurse ka, mag-doktor ka, guaranteed may trabaho. I mean, to a certain extent, that's still true. Pero yun na nga, marami ng competition. Hindi lang naman ang Pilipino ang na-employ abroad, no? So, and then there's AI. We need to figure out paano ba natin gagamitin yan para magkaroon ng livelihood. I think that's a
Yeah.
big opportunity.
I think because kasi before, back in the 90s, no, kasi even my parents have that kind of mentality na you want to be an artist, magtrabaho ka muna, get a course na madali ka makakuha ng trabaho, and then afterwards you can study again. I think it's more on practicality kasi more parents are more practical back then, no, rather than now na ngayon the millennial parents like myself, they allow to encourage their kids not to take up art. Kasi my daughter is a very good artist. She draws very well. And so, yeah. So I hope na this, we can educate people more about AI and how to use it properly, responsibly.
Actually,
Alright.
for anyone who wants to get started, madali, hit me up on docligo.com. I'm also on Facebook. Hanapin
Yeah,
niyo
I
ako,
follow
Doc
you.
Ligo. Meron, kung wala kayo sa Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn. Kung nasa X pa kayo, kasi alam ko marami nang umalis, nandun din ako. I mean,
Okay.
I try to spread yung content ko as far as possible. And then I have a YouTube channel.
Of
Look for
course,
me on Doc Ligot. Yun, marami akong mga videos doon for free. But yun na nga, the idea there is to get literacy up, and then pag kailangan nyo na ng mga hardcore skills, tara, let's have a training.
That's great. So, alright, maraming salamat sa what's the word? For accepting our invitation, dito sa Vloggers ng Bagong Pilipinas. Doc, I hope we have you once again.
Yeah. Thank
You're
you.
always welcome here pag naisipan ulit natin.
And hopefully, hindi dahil nagkaroon na naman ng bagong kabulastugan sa AI. Ano?
Hopefully, hindi na ganun yung yung case. So, eto na. Bago tayo magtapos, it's your time to shine.
Baka may gusto pa si
Ikaw,
na-
Doc, may gusto ka bang i-promote mo yung page mo
i-promote,
sa ating mga tagapakinig, ganyan?
Yeah, yun na nga. Follow me on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on X. And then we're also launching a number of courses. So if you're interested in learning AI, just reach out.
All right, thank you. So
Yun.
basically, Doc Ligot is everywhere. You just know when to find it.
Yan.
Game.
Okay, konti lang to Martina, no? So, binabati ko lang pinapabati ni Ami Ruzul, si Teacher Marie Hernandez, at yung kanyang mga kasamahan daw sa simbahan, at ang kanyang ama na si Doroteo Ruzul, no? Sabi niya, inaway lagi kang malusog at happy, lagi, we love you, Ama. At saka, syempre, binabati ko rin si Jessie Velasco at saka si Florcita Anacaya at saka maraming po salamat sa mga nagpa-follow ng aking YouTube channel Admin Rich at saka sa aking Facebook page Admin Rich Komentarista at maging sa aking TikTok page. Maraming po salamat at yung tagline nga po natin, huwag niyong kakalimutan, fight fake news, expose the truth, para ma-expose po natin yung mga fake news na yan. Kailangan po natin ay sabihin at ihayag ang katotohanan. Yun po. Admin Rich, Komentarista.
All right, thank you, Admin Rich. At ako naman, sobrang simple lang. I just wanted to say hello to my mom and dad in California and all my nieces and my brothers. Yun sa kuya ko, congratulations. He was invited for his first exhibit. Congrats, kuya. So, also the Dialogo family, my neighbors, thank you for always watching over us. And yun lang, to my beshies, Alex, na nasa Palawan pa, si Alex, si Sheila, and to the entire Bangawan family, and as well as kay Attorney Paul Chavez. Beshi, anniversary niyo yata ni Carmela, so congrats. So anyway, yun lang. So next time po ulit, magkita-kita tayo ulit dito tayo. Ako po si Martina Goriseta.
At si Admin Rich.
At ito po
dito
ang sa Vloggers ng Bagong Pilipinas. Magandang gabi po.